Yo, what's up guys, Phoenix, and today we're going to be doing top 10 tips to be a good Jason. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So tip 1, guys, is at the beginning of the game, always grab the throwing knives because they will give you an advantage at the beginning of the game to kill people you've already damaged when they're trying to get out of a window, for example. The second tip is always go to the phone box as soon as you grab the throwing knives because it will help you so much and it will make the game a lot easier for you in the long run because you won't have to worry about everybody escaping to the police and then building the car. The next tip is use your sense wisely. And when I say use your sense wisely, I mean you don't want to flash it for its full period because then that's like a waste because you don't need it for its full time. All you do is you flash it really quickly and then you look around you to see if anybody's there, and if they aren't, you don't need your sense to track them. The way you are supposed to use your sense to be a good Jason is you flash it like what I just did there, and since I know they're now in the building, you flash it and then you know where they are, so you don't need to use it again. The fourth tip is when you know someone's in a building, because you use your sense to see them in there, and if it's a big building like Higgins Haven in this example, you just want to break stuff. I know that sounds pretty obvious, but what I mean by that is just destroy every hiding spot you can see and everything, because then even if they're not in there, then nobody else can get in there and hide from you later in the game. So that really helps. And then break down doors so they can't lock you out. That helps. So that would be the fourth tip. The fifth tip is try to stay hot on people's trails and make sure you find the sound blimps of the people you're trying to track down. Because if you lose them, then it's just going to restart the whole cycle. You're going to have to find them again. And if they lose you again, then that just sucks for you. So what you want to do here is you want to find where they're going, use your sense to see them, and then shift to them so that you can get the easy kill right there, like what I did here in this example, where I just used my sense and then shifted right into the water where he was at and then killed him. The next tip is try to be stealthy. It doesn't really show it in this example because I did not have my stalk yet, but when I say be stealthy is whenever someone pops up on your sense and they look to be far away, you want to use your stalk so they think that maybe you're going away from them instead of towards them, and it can get them confused. But when they do see you, you still want to have stalk on because they might not turn around to see you again. They might think you teleported somewhere else. But you definitely want to try to stay as stealthy as possible whenever going for kills, especially later in the game, because they might just window hop and in and out, and if you don't have bear traps, then it will just end up being a burden and a pain. The seventh tip for this video is use good Jasons, and what I mean by that is just use Jasons that have good abilities, like this Jason right here. He has good water speed, destruction, and stalk, which is bad because you'll never really use water speed, so that's bad. But this Jason, he has good sense, water speed, and grip strength. That's good, but he can't run, and his shift's bad, which means you won't be able to shift grab people easier. And this Jason, he's pretty good. The only bad thing I would say about him is his defense. That's the only thing I have to say about that Jason. I don't have this Jason unlocked, but he looks to seem pretty good because he has good weapon strength, destruction, but he does have bad shift and traps, which I don't like personally, but it's up to you guys. This Jason, he's pretty great because he has good weapon strength and grip strength. The only bad thing is bad stalk, sense. So that's for Retro and just regular Part 3. Part 2, I think he's an all-around good character, even though he does have bad defense and shift, because he can run and traps. If you play this Jason, you want to go for the traps, because that's what surrounds him. For Part 9, what I love about him is he has good shift and stun resistance and stock. So I love all three of those. The only thing I don't like is he has bad hit points. For the 8th tip, I have one of my personal favorites and most important is you always want to listen for those little sounds when they're rebuilding the car. Like for gas, it has like a s sound, and when they're doing the battery, it has a electric sound like what you just heard. So that means that they are working on the car right now and you want to go to the car now. The next tip is also one of my personal favorites, which is don't let the counselors window trap you. And when I say window trap, I mean when they just hop in and out of windows. And so I'm going to tell you some ways to avoid that. Some ways to avoid that is A, just break the window so that it damages them and they can't do it as often. And then what I like to do is rush them like hardcore so that they can't just camp in one spot basically. Also, you can bear trap the window so when they step out they either die or get seriously hurt, and then when they step through the broken window they will die. For the 10th and final tip for being Jason is when you are chasing a counselor and another counselor pops up, don't let that counselor distract you from getting the counselor you were first on, because then you will lose him, and if you already damaged him, he has a chance to regain his health, and that's not good because then you you basically gave him another chance, and you don't want that. You just want to take him out right away. So that's what you want to do for the 10th and final tip. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.